What's going on, everyone? It's Kochyy here, and all the information for the new tag team banner and the units, they are out, the stats, skills, and the gameplay. And I'm just going to make a quick video, as quick as I can, just covering them. I wasn't originally going to do one, but I did post a comment on my last video and asking whether or not I should, because it's kind of late already to do this, but I did get some feedback, so I will be posting this, obviously. So let's just get into it, not take too much time. The first character, Omaeda. K-Lab did their typical thing where they make this kind of hybrid character. He has a low stamina boost soul trait, which is bad, obviously. You look at his skills, he's got Sprinter +2, Bruiser 40%, Berserker 30, Bombardment, Weakened Defense, and Slow Resistance. He doesn't have, obviously, Frenzy and Flurry, so again, you can see by his stats, they gave him high attack, high SP, none of those skills. So this is another like typical hybrid type character that K-Lab is pushing. He does have this Soul Reaper and Captain Killer. He shares that with Tag Team Koga as well, but Tag Team Koga does have Frenzy, which kind of helps him a little bit more. This character doesn't. He does have this Bombardment and Weakened Defense, so I'm thinking he can be good at nuking for guild quests. Especially if he's a bonus unit, just like how Yuha was a bonus unit on the last round of guild quests, and he was the best, obviously, bonus and nuker you could have on your team. So this character can probably fulfill a similar role when he's bonus, and honestly, I'm thinking that he may be okay for autoing. We'll view his gameplay in a second, but I'm thinking, yeah, he might have some usefulness for autoing power Inheritance Zone. He does have the slow resist as well, so if there's ever an Inheritance Zone that has a lot of slow ailments or slow pools, then you have you know, that going for you, whereas other characters, if you get hit by that slow, you cannot use your strong attacks, or you cannot you attack slower, and more likely than not that will result in your character dying and failing the run. So maybe he has a little bit of niche like usefulness with autoing, but for bombing, guild quests, and just general PvP, he's got that. So let's just look at his gameplay right now, and then I'll just quickly go over it. And yeah, we'll just look at the gameplay, and I'll quickly go over his strong attacks and his normals, and then we'll move on to the next character. So that was the character. We'll just mute this now, we'll replay it, and we'll start from right about here and just slow this down. So starting with the SA3, he does have a full screen strong attack 3, which is always good, better than, you know, not having a full screen SA3. His SA2 here, I'll slow this down even more. It does a initial hit at the start, and then the vortex comes out afterwards. So it's actually a split magnification. It does 2 instances of damage. So you can see, I'll pause it right there. We'll go here on his character page, and you can see here, again, it is a split magnification. So it does like a 20%, it has a 20% magnification on that first hit, and then 100% on the remainder of the vortex. So it's a bit of a weird strong attack, if you ask me. Oh, sorry. It's a bit of a weird strong attack, if you ask me. It's kind of slow as well. I don't really... And he doesn't have frenzies either, so the vortex, I can't imagine it does that many hits. So I can't really see it being that useful for building combo. Again, yeah, you can see it does the first hit, and then the vortex plays out. So yeah, I'm not really too... sold on that strong attack right there. And then moving on, this is his strong attack 1. This looks like a projectile based strong attack. He just kind of kicks his Zanpakuto out, and he just, you know, it just keeps traveling and keeps hitting, I guess, as it keeps continues to travel. You can see here it doesn't really kill this mob, and this mob just, like, the damage they're taking are it's different, so it looks to be kind of inconsistent. So I'm not gonna, I honestly don't think it's that great. And then we can look at his normal attack string last. We can look at this at normal speed actually, because it might be a bit deceiving on when it's slowed down. So there's his normal attack string. It looks okay. Doesn't look too bad. I think it's about like average. Yeah, I don't think it's too bad. It looks about average. Yeah, maybe like what I said about him being somewhat useful for autoing may come to pass. So we'll have to see when people pull him and the next inheritance rolls around. But yeah, definitely good nuker, and maybe good for autoing. So I think that's pretty much it for this character. Alright, and this is the next character, which is Tag Team Ikkaku. Tag Team Ikkaku is a speed attribute unit. He has high SP with Frenzy skill. We'll start again with his soul trait. So he has this full stamina damage boost. So K-Lab, again, I guess they decided they needed one with low stamina and now one with full stamina. So again, not a good soul trait to have. You can look at his skills here: Sprinter, Bruiser 20%, Devastation 40, Frenzy, weaken attack on his special. His killer is Soul Reaper and Arrancar killer. This is something he shares with these following units: Toshiro, Izuru, Ichigo, and Retsu. He's mostly, I guess, competing with Retsu since they're both in the speed attributes. But yeah, I don't know, like this character, you can look at his strong attacks here. He has this shield strong attack. It's a 40-second cooldown. It doesn't help that he has this soul trait and then he has a 40-second cooldown strong attack. So yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about that. If we, the other thing that this character reminded me of is he is very similar to Christmas Rukia, and in the sense that they both have this full stamina damage boost. They are both frenzy characters, and they both have a strong attack 2 barrier, which is interesting. So I don't really see too much of Christmas Rukia, but I have seen her sometimes do like some work in guild quests when she was a bonus, and that shield is definitely helpful. So I can maybe say the same for Ikkaku, you know, with the same kind of soul traits, barrier skill, and also having frenzy. And his strong attacks aren't too bad, except one of them. We'll get into the video in a second. But yeah, I don't think Ikkaku is too terrible, but at the same time, he's not that great either. We'll have to see how he plays out. I think for general PvE content, obviously this soul trait is kind of risky. I'd rather just play, you know, with Kokuto, who has Soul Reaper Killer and a SAR trait, or if it was Arrancar, just use 1000 Year Blood War Rukia. But yeah, overall, I don't think he's too great, but he's an option, I guess. So we'll look into his video right here. I'll just pause that. Oh, the audio is playing. Okay. So, and here is his gameplay. So that was his gameplay footage. We'll mute this and we'll play it back. We'll just skip the special and get right into his strong attacks. So here we go with his SA3. Again, like tag team Omaeda, he has a full screen SA3, or appears to be full screen. I'm pretty sure it is, which is always good. Again, here's his SA2. So it looks to be a decent sized range, but again, it's a 40-second cooldown strong attack too. So even using like SAR links, you're gonna notice the difference of missing a strong attack throughout your run. So that kind of sucks. And then here's his SA1. I'll just play this back. Again, I'm not sure really what this is. It's like a kind of an attack. Yeah, like here's the thing. It kind of flies out. It's like Omaeda's SA1. It feels like. It's just like it moves a projectile in a straight line, and it can hit in the sides. But you can see here, as it went out, it didn't kill this mob, so I'm thinking the damage is kind of inconsistent. The third and second strong attack in terms of AoE and everything were okay. Obviously the 40-second thing is kind of bad, but this, it looks like it travels a good distance, but it's looking like it can be a bit inconsistent if you don't aim it just perfectly. It might be useful in guild quests when you just have a narrow corridor, but yeah, overall it's not looking too great on that strong attack. And then here's his normal attack string. I will actually just play this back at full speed. It's a 3-hit string. Yeah, again, that doesn't look too... There's nothing really impressive there. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. It does pierce, it looks like, but yeah, overall, Ikkaku, I don't think he is completely terrible, but at the same time, he's not that great. He has a lot of flaws in his kit that kind of hold him back. Yeah, anyway, that's Ikkaku. Okay, and for our last character, we have Tag Team Toshiro here, who is probably a really popular character that a lot of people are looking forward to. Tag Team Toshiro is a technique attribute character. He has a strong attack damage 20% soul trait, which in my opinion is better than the full stamina one, because at least if you take some damage or you get hit or whatever, it's not a complete loss. Like, you just don't lose your damage, you know, you can still use the character. He does have high SP, 765 SP. I think that is the 6th highest SP in the game. He really has a standard frenzy unit skill set with sprinter, long reach, bruiser, devastation, obviously frenzy and debilitator. He can inflict freeze on everything, as you can see, and he has also Soul Reaper, Arrancar Killer, same as Ikkaku, and he's the only character in the technique attribute that has that, so he's not competing with anyone like Ikkaku is, so that's decent at the very least. Individually though, for Soul Reaper he is competing obviously with Flyzen, and with Arrancar he's competing with Lost Agent Soifon. One quick thing before we get into the gameplay footage is the strong attacks here. I just want to talk about his strong attack 3. You may or may not have noticed this in the gameplay footage, or maybe you noticed this already because all this information is on FYI, but you can see here his strong attack 3 is split again. It's into 2 magnifications, so it's a 2-part strong attack. The first part pulls people in, and the second part does like a explosion. And this is similar to Kochyy, who also has the same SA3. Again, split magnification, does damage in 2 parts. White Zangetsu also has this. Split magnification, does damage in 2 parts. So if you are used to Kochyy and White Zangetsu, then you'll kind of get where this character is coming from. I think the range on his SA3 is rather short though. It is 675 range. I'm pretty sure Kochyy and White Zangetsu are larger range than that. I'll have to double check. If I'm wrong, I'll point it out in the comments. But yeah, other than that, let's just get into his gameplay footage, and then we'll go over his strong attacks. And here we go. So that was Toshiro's gameplay, and we will just now mute this, play it back, just get to where his strong attacks are used. So here we go. Oh wait, hold on, actually let me refresh the page here. Yeah, okay, I didn't have my controls at the top. So again, we'll start from here and we'll slow it down. So here's the SA3. You can see this is the first part. It pulls all the enemies in, and then this is the second part, this explosion, where you can see the full dragon and like the ice around him. So we can go to the next part, it shows it again. Pulls in, and then the explosion afterwards. So that is what I meant by it's a two-part strong attack. Here's his SA2. It's like a linear type strong attack that just shoots out in front of him. I'm not really sure on the range of it. It looks like it's really narrow, starting from where he is, and then like outwards it's a lot larger range. So maybe if you're too close, obviously you'll probably miss it. That's his SA1. But if you're too close, it looks like you might miss it, like if they're like right here. But if you keep a little bit of distance, then it might be okay. It seems a bit slow though, if I'm being honest. And then here's his SA1. It's again, forward dashing type strong attack. Pretty standard for a lot of frenzy units to have. I think it's the regular range dash on that strong attack. Like at first I thought it was a bit short, but on second viewing I think it's, I don't know, it might be a bit short. I don't know, I'll have to check the check this, like the stats on the AoE, and if he lunges far enough, or just actually view it compared to like the other characters that have dashing strong attacks. But yeah, and then here's his NAD string. We'll actually watch this on full time, or full speed, because it might look a bit deceiving when it's slowed down. So it's a 4-hit string, 1, 2, 3, 4. Seems about okay. You will end up using it a little bit because he doesn't have that SAR trait, so you'll find yourself occasionally not having strong attacks ready to use, and you might have to use that NAD. So it seems just okay. Doesn't seem that great, but overall I think Toshiro is definitely the best in the bunch. But again, you know, he does have his flaws with the soul traits, and I really don't like the strong attack 3. The range is kind of small. It takes too long for it to deal its damage, and yeah, I don't really like those like pull like split mag vortex into explosion SA3s. I would much prefer if he just had a full screen SA3, but anyway, what can you do? So yeah, that is Tag Team Toshiro, and that is all the characters. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this is somewhat informative to you, and maybe helped your opinion depending or determining whether or not you wanted to summon on this banner. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.